only one joint to go. Last. Hold it!
What's up?
That blasted casing stuck 50 feet off bottom. Give me Frank Maud's house, will you?
Well, what are you going to do?
OK, I'll hang on. There are two alternatives.
And one of them could cost us a lot of time.
I know, that's why I'm calling Frank Ward.
Well, I better put Jim Fraser in the picture.
OK. This is our problem, Hendricks.
It could be an expensive one.
Of course I've tried his house, Donald. Why do you think I'm phoning you?
OK, Jack. Keep your hair on. I'll ring round a few places and get him to call you.
You better have a chopper standing by. You sure he's in Newport?
Yes, I've told you. I'll find him.
Top priority, Donald. Now, hang on. You better transfer this call to Fraser. Hendricks wants a word. You want a coffee?
Oh, thanks.
Good.
Oh, my dear Charles, I've been looking for you all morning.
Oh?
Well, am I not right in thinking the congratulations are in order?
To what exactly are you referring?
Well, your appointment to the British National Oil Corporation. Splendid news.
Well, it's very kind of you, Norman, but the fact of the matter is that at the moment...
It's entirely unofficial. I know, I quite understand.
Well, then how did you...
Come to hear of it. Well, my dear Charles, because I've been asked to, how shall I put it, hold a watching brief.
Really?
Yes. I thought you'd be pleased.
Perhaps you'd care to sit in on one or two of the meetings.
Oh, yes, I'd like that, Charles. I gather we have quite a busy week in front of us.
George a visit?
Yes. Yes, it was interesting.
Good. Oh, pocket money. Are you,
All right for the moment.
Are you sure? Because if
No,
you want...
no, I've got enough, really.
Oh, good. Good. Car should be here soon.
Yes. Guess you can't get down to school more often.
Oh, come on, Amanda. I don't do all that badly, surely.
No. Except Bunny Waters' father comes down every weekend.
And what does Bunny Waters' father do?
Nothing. He's rich.
Well, I'm working on it.
We've got our house matches this Saturday.
Oh, I hope you win.
I'm not playing.
Oh, that's right. I remember you telling me.
How's Elaine?
Oh, she's fine. Look, where did you... I mean,
She
how
answered
did
the
you...
phone. Twice. Once here at the office, but she didn't say who she was that time. Then again at your flat. That time she said who she was. Does she work for you?
Oh, well, no. Well, not for me. Not really. She works for the company, you see.
I'd like to meet her.
I'm sure you will.
Is she here now?
No, unfortunately, she's in London today. Yeah.
That car you ordered, it's arrived, Mr. Fraser.
Oh, thank you. Time to say goodbye, darling.
Yes. Bet you couldn't have driven me back.
Yes, that would have been nice, but...
I know. Work. Bye, Dad.
Bye, my love. Take care.
You won't forget the concert, will you?
Concert. Yeah?
Mr. Hendricks, he said it was urgent.
Oh, well, I'd better speak to him then.
It's a school concert Monday night.
Oh, that concert. No, I shan't forget.
Why don't you bring Elaine?
Well, she may be busy.
Putting Mr. Hendricks through now.
Darling, I'm
See you at
sorry.
the concert, then.
Yeah. Bye. Hendricks? Oh, what's the trouble? Well, what does Frank Ward say? Well, you better find him. Well, it's a pretty obvious solution. Just tell Mallory to go on drilling.
Hello.
What on earth are you doing here?
Oh, well, that's a fine welcome, I must say.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting you.
Well, I caught an early flight. 2 appointments were cancelled, so I didn't see any point in staying in town.
Oh, no, of course not.
Busy day?
Well, so. As a matter of fact, you just missed meeting my daughter.
Hendricks, the answer's no. Jim Fraser may be your boss, but Frank Ward's my governor.
Then I suggest you do something about finding him.
Hey, not too close. It's a long ways down.
It's only the last 2 feet that count.
Hey! Don't go near that edge! Don't run that horse near the edge! Julie! Don't run that horse near the edge! That's a crazy thing to do. What are you trying to do? Kill yourself?
Not that you'd notice.
Well, listen, don't start fooling around. If you'd slipped over the edge...
Darling, I didn't. What are you making so much fuss about anyway? You take more risks out there every day. I want a little fun, too.
Fun?
Fun. Come on, I'll race you home.
Did you enjoy yourselves? I'm so sorry I couldn't go with you. I had some work to do for my father on the farm.
How can we ever thank you? We had a marvellous time.
Thank you,
I'm so
Doc.
glad.
Yeah, it was really great.
Thank you, darling.
Thanks for the horses.
You're very welcome. Come out any time you like.
Anytime?
Anytime.
Oh, Jock. Jock, that was a fantastic place.
The cauldron, did you go?
Yes, she did.
You didn't climb.
Well, she's not that crazy, but...
There was a lad some years back climbed in for a bet.
Did he win?
Aye, the first time.
How about $100, darling?
Don't you joke. Don't even joke about that. All right?
Okay.
Yeah.
The wonders of modern science. You can never be on your own.
You could always disconnect it, Julie.
Do you know he's going to come back in and say,
Listen, Julie, honey, something's come up. I've got to go back to the rig. Still, it's been a lovely day.
Listen, Julie, honey, I...
What did I tell you?
I don't believe it.
Well, you might have warned me that you'd talk to her. Out of the blue like that, she had me mumbling like some spotty adolescent, late home from his first dance.
She asked who I was. Well, if I'd given a false name, she'd have wanted to know who Brunhilde was. All right, I know it's your decision. Just wish you'd hurry up and make it.
Well, I want you to show a little patience. I just want to be sure how she'll take it.
Take what? Maybe you're not sure what there is to take. Is that it?
Look, this is office hours. Do you mind if we leave your personal hang-ups till our own time? Oh, I'm sorry. I've had a lousy day. Now I'm taking it out on you.
I gather there's been some problem at the rig. Now, what happened?
Do you really want to know?
Well, at least the ground's firmer.
Mr. Wayman, this has been a most useful meeting.
Yes, I think it has.
And I'm very grateful.
No need, Sir Charles. We didn't set out to do President Oil a favour. Our brief has never changed. Our sole concern at this moment of time is to get the oil ashore as fast as possible, and this seemed to me the obvious solution.
I quite agree. How do you imagine Triumph will react?
Well, crystal gazing is not my forte. Oh, I do suggest at this stage that we treat this idea of mine as nothing more than a suggestion.
Oh, yes, of course.
Well, I mean, no doubt you'll want to discuss the matter with your experts, and then if you all agree as to its feasibility, then perhaps we'd better meet again.
With Triumph?
Oh, naturally. Another cup of coffee.
Hi, Frank.
Hello.
Got ourselves a bit of a problem, eh?
Yeah, so it seems.
I had a word with Fraser.
I bet you did.
What's the depth, Zach? Jam tide at 896, Frank.
Weather set fair for the next few days?
We know that, Hendricks.
All right. I was only trying to help, that's all.
Let's see what kind of a circulation rate we got, okay?
Full circulation. She doesn't budge an inch.
It's solid, all right.
What now? Well, the thing's stuck. It's plain stuck. That leaves us two alternatives. Either we cement cut the casing and drill ahead, or we run a casing patch. That's what we'll do.
Casing patch, that's what I thought you'd say. But it's 4 days lost.
I know, and it's good drilling weather. It can't be helped.
I suppose it's safer in the long run?
It's safer, period. You don't want me around here, do you?
I can manage.
Good. But any problems, pick up the phone.
Right. See you, Frank.
See ya.
The casing is cemented to the rock down to here. Now, the next piece of pipe should join on here, but it's stuck there. So there's a gap.
And that's dangerous.
Well, yes, if there is high pressure. Now, if there is, it could cause a fracture in the rock, and that would mean an underground blowout. Now, if they suspect this, they put another section of pipe in here.
Oh, a casing patch.
Well, it shouldn't be necessary this time.
Jim.
Oh, hello, Donald.
Hello, Len. Jim, they tell me you've got a call through to Nelson 1.
Yeah, that's right. What do you want, some airtime?
It's the next batch of supplies. Just a couple of points.
Oh. Yeah.
Your call to Nelson 1.
Oh, thank you. Perfect timing. Hello, Hendricks. Yeah. Well, what's the decision? Huh? A casing patch? Oh, no. But why? That shouldn't be necessary.
Well, Frank Ward thinks it is, and then he's the careful type. Yes, I'm well aware it's 4 days.
Well, it's 4 days we can't afford to lose. Oh, all right, I'll talk to him when he gets back.
What? Jim.
Oh, we're sorry, Donald.
Oh, by the way, Hendricks, I've got the perfect present for you.
Oh?
Well, if you're running a casing patch, my queries aren't so urgent. It's good weather, too.
Oh, don't I know?
Oh, by the way, Jim, I just had a strange call from President Oil.
Oh?
Their London office. They were inquiring what the penalty clause would be if they were to cancel the remains of their pipeline order.
Well, what do they want to do? Bring it ashore in buckets?
Well, the only pipeline anywhere near them is your one that comes ashore at Gordon Bay. I thought perhaps you might have done a deal.
Oh, not to my knowledge. Get me Mr. Atkins, please.
Merely saying the more you leave us alone, the better we can get on with the job. Triumph have been in the oil business a lot longer than the British government.
Perhaps. But then you shouldn't underestimate us, Mr. Atkins.
That's precisely what I am asking of you. You see, if you insist on enforcing these unrealistic deadlines, you're helping neither the oil companies nor, in the long run, the country.
Am I to assume from all this that your exploration well will not be completed on time?
I thought this informal discussion, as you put it, was to be based on broad principles.
But of course. But you see, the simple fact of the matter is that the government is more concerned with the oil than with who brings it in.
A very natural concern, since you take the lion's share of the profits.
I would have said that it was simply a good enough reason for ensuring that our partners are the best available.
Partners? In the 1960s, you began by asking for a 12.5% royalty. We signed legal agreements to that effect, remember? Once we had risked and lost a large amount of money and finally discovered oil, you then demanded participation, a new definition of extortion. You now have the gall to refer to this daylight robbery in the terms of partnership. The fact is that initially hundreds and thousands of shareholders risked millions of pounds to find North Sea oil, and now we have no say whatsoever. The companies and the government sat down together at a feast, Mr. Wayman. Pretty soon we shall be lucky if we get the odd scrap from your table.
North Sea oil is more than a simple commercial venture, Mr. Atkins. The British national interest is too concerned over its success. And if we assume powers that strike you as draconian, well, I can only assure you that they are entirely justified.
That is a matter of opinion.
Of course, we prefer not to exercise the powers we have. But in the proper circumstances, you could well find they work to your advantage.
Perhaps. But tell me one thing. Who defines the proper circumstances?
Oh, we've kept you far too long. I gather you're flying north.
Tomorrow.
Then shall we meet the day after?
There's room for more than one opinion.
Too right.
This is the way I see it. We can cement off, cut the casing, and drill ahead. Okay, we save some time, but that might mean trouble. It'll only give us a maximum of 3,700 pounds per square inch instead of the 7,800 we should have, Jim.
Well, 3,700 is more than enough. What do you expect to hit down there, Vesuvius?
I'm keeping an open mind.
Oh, but some things may be.
What is that crack supposed to mean?
Oh, cool down, Frank. We're running out of time. We can't afford to take more precautions than are reasonable.
I call this reasonable.
Well, I call 4 days an unreasonable delay.
You listen. If anything goes wrong up there, my men take the risk and I carry the can.
Don't overlook the fact that I am in charge of the whole shooting match out there. And I shall get no joy out of blaming an overcautious drilling superintendent when I don't finish the well on time.
A what? An overcautious drilling superintendent? What do you want from me?
I want you to reconsider. Balance the risks, that's all. I think you'll find they come down in my favor.
Okay. I'll reconsider.
Good. When will you let me know?
Give me 4 days. finished up here pretty soon. For better or for worse.
Better or for worse. Hey, where's the next one going to be? Where's the next job?
Where? Listen, I made you a promise. After this job, we're going to take some time out, figure out where we're going, you and I, right? Remember?
Oh, yes, I remember, but nevertheless, where's it going to be?
As a matter of fact, I'm seeing Patterson tomorrow. He wants to talk about an option on the next job, and there's a French guy flying.
Oh, isn't it nice to be wanted?
Yeah, but don't you see? It's always give them. Is it what I want?
Only you know that.
If I pull this one off, I'm going to do what's right for us. Us.
Okay. Oh, I'll go and run you a bath. Are you coming? I've had a thought.
Hmm?
Well, there's only one way you're going to find out. So, pick up the phone and ring Sir Charles.
Hello, Sir Charles. I'm awfully sorry to disturb you. I wonder if you could let me into a secret. Could you tell me if you are planning to tap into our patronage?
I can imagine the reply you get to that sort of approach.
Or any other approach.
What did Atkins say?
Oh, I couldn't get hold of him. He's out all day. Will he be up here tomorrow? Ask him then.
What you really mean is that you're worrying more quietly.
You're in an aggressive frame of mind tonight.
Perhaps I need taming.
Come on, baby.
Going okay?
No sweat so far.
Look, I still don't think it's necessary to go to those lengths. I mean, a casing patch.
You don't think so because your boss doesn't think so. Anyway, it's Frank Ward's responsibility.
It still adds up to 4 days lost.
Oh, well, Jim Fraser doesn't have to sit on top of this thing if it blows.
Look, he knows what he's talking about. Fraser served his time on the rigs.
I know, you don't have to sell him to me. But now he's a boss man, he should learn when to delegate. Somebody's got to make a guess about what pressure we can expect when we break through down there. You can study those until the cows come home, but can you give me an exact answer?
No. No, I grant you that. That's all it can be. An educated guess. It's simply a question of who does the guessing.
Hold all calls till I tell you.
Well, that's all I know.
Now, an inquiry as to cancellation doesn't necessarily mean that they propose to tap into our pipeline.
No, but I'd like to know even if they're thinking about it.
Of course, there could be advantages for us in a link-up.
Oh, yes. That pipeline will have cost us nearly 120 million, so if President Oil want to share it, that could halve our costs. What do you think yourself?
Well, here's our pipeline from Gordon Bay to the Southern Field. Now, here's President's Oil Field. A 40-mile run of pipe, and they could link up with us here. Now, economically, both companies could be happy. But what happens if we make a big strike in our current operation? How are we going to get the oil ashore?
What oil? I don't even know you're going to finish on time.
Oh, we're bang up to schedule. You know it.
Not the way I hear it.
Jock?
Aye?
Mrs. Ward got back yet?
Aye, and left. And without a word at that, just left Queenie here.
Well, that's not like Julie.
Ah, well, to leave a horse like that could have caused her death.
Are you quite sure she's gone?
Queenie's here and she isn't.
Did she park round the back?
Aye.
Yes, I know you wouldn't have called me if you could have called anyone else. How long has she been gone? Well, that's not long enough to call out the police. Look, Shona, I'll see if I can contact Frank. Maybe come up myself, help you look around. If that's all right with you. Fine. In a while, then.
4 days lost. That's what it amounts to. This time next week, we shall be 4 days behind schedule. I don't like being kept in the dark.
And I don't like someone breathing down my neck. Now, you stick to the master plan and leave the details to me. It's a simple problem.
I know the problem. I've read the manual.
Well, in that case, you know the alternatives. Either we go Frank's way, which is safe, or...
It's got to be or, Jim. There's too much at stake.
Yeah, but Frank Ward's got a point. I've argued it with him, I know. Now, perhaps the pressure is too much for 13-inch casing. The only sure way is Frank.
Jim, who's running the show? Let's face it, we're paying the bills. The risk is minimal. You know that. So why play the devil's advocate with me? Who's on the rig now?
Oh, two-pusher Mallory.
And Ward?
He's, having lunch with his boss, Patterson.
Do you know where, precisely?
No.
Unavailable. In that case, let's get Mallory on the line. I'm just wanting his opinion.
All right, but, Frank will be flying out there later.
Jim. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, Donald, this is Mr. Atkins, our managing director. Donald Cameron, who runs the supply base.
Hello. I've just had a call from Shona, Jim. Julie's gone missing. Out riding.
Missing?
Well, I'm not long enough to panic yet, but I think you ought to let Frank know all the same. I'm going out to help look for her. I'll keep you posted.
Well, I wonder where he is lunching.
Let's leave it, Jim. I think one problem's enough for me. She's probably had a slight accident, sprained her ankle, something quite small. Let's ring the rig and have a spot of lunch.
How long ago did she leave?
Nearly 3 hours ago.
She didn't say where?
Just rode off up the track.
She could have taken any direction from there.
So where do we start?
She and Frank rode up to the cauldron the other day. There was something about riding round it.
Come in.
Oh, I was looking for Mr. Fraser.
Ah, he's at lunch, I'm afraid. So's everyone else.
Oh, I see. I see.
I suppose if I said, can I help? Oh, the answer would be no.
Not necessarily, Miss Smythe. I merely wanted to pass on some good news, that's all.
Are you sure it's good news?
Oh, yes. That laddie that was injured the other week, injured supplying your rig, you remember?
Yes.
Well?
The one who was released from hospital this morning.
Oh, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
I had great pleasure in presenting him with a small cheque from Triumph Oil as a belated wedding present.
Oh. I was just going round to the Smuggler's Arms. I suppose you're too busy to join me, huh?
Not necessarily, Mr. Gallagher.
So what did you say to Atkins? What did you say to Atkins?
I told him he was probably right, should be said.
And your boss?
Atkins said he'd square it with Frank.
Well, it's all right, then.
No, it's not. Something's going on, and I could end up pig in the middle. I'll make the preparations, but I'm not going any further ahead until I hear from Frank Ward.
You know, Jim, we're very much aware in London of the good job you're doing up here. In fact, your name's come up quite a lot in the last few days.
Well, isn't it a bit premature to be talking about bonuses?
It's not exactly what we had in mind.
What exactly do you have in mind, Rupert?
Well, we were thinking it was about time you got some experience at our end of things.
Well, the head office, John.
I know. Not exactly. You do know what I have in mind.
Well, I think I know what you're talking around.
Well, I believe the board could do with an injection of fresh blood.
Well, you've already had most of mine, Rupert.
You're not going to tell me you didn't know you were in the running.
No. The thought had crossed my mind.
I'm sure it has. Now, if you can
Bring in Nelson 1, yeah, I know.
Precisely. You can count in your favour. I have an idea. Why don't you fly back to London with me tomorrow?
Now, one moment you're on my back for being behind schedule.
Yeah, it's all taken care of. I'm meeting Wayman and Dennison tomorrow. I could do with you with me. Afterwards, I'll introduce you to the board, all quite informal. What do you say?
Julie! Julie!
Julie!
Atkins? Atkins told you to do what?
To forget the casing patch.
Was Fraser with him when he called?
Yeah.
You see, you're out of the way for a couple of hours, and right away they go behind your back. If they know so much about that, so why don't they get off their backsides and do the job themselves?
Frank, I know you're mad.
Mad? Are you mad? You know what I think about that whole
Now
system
listen,
that
Frank,
they got of
come on,
all those people
have a
setting up there
cigarette,
and
Frank.
thinking
Calm
everything
down.
about the whole
Calm
thing that they think about.
Calm down, Frank. Have a cigarette. I held everything till you got back. Come on, have a cigarette.
You're right. You're right. You have to keep it. You did right to wait. Thank you.
Look, it's given me time to think. Why don't we run the water for the cement through the steam pipes? They do it with hot concrete.
Oh, you mean speed up the selling, I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think it'll work?
Well, it's worth a try.
Donald! There's something there.
London? Well, when did all this come up?
Oh, 20 minutes ago. What are you doing here?
Headache. Angus Gallagher was in a sociable mood. After 4 double malts, I chickened out. Now, why all the rush?
Oh, I'm to meet Wayman. And then, would you believe, I am to meet the board.
Portrait of an oil man.
Oh, I see. Do we or do we not want this man as a fellow director? Is that it?
Well, the point is, do I want it?
Well, surely if it's offered.
Well, all I know is that Atkins wants me with him when he meets Wayman. And the rest is probably a load of old flannel. See you tomorrow. Be good.
With this headache, I've no option.
It's no good, Donald. We'll have to call the police. What else can we do? Donald, am I glad to see you?
I'll bet.
Julie, what happened? Are you all right?
Oh, yeah. It's just my leg.
Looks like a sprain.
Oh.
But your shoe, we found it over there.
That's where the horse bolted. I clung on until it tried to jump a ditch, that dumb animal.
Jo, give me a hand. It's a long way back.
Oh, thank you.
Come on.
Gently.
That's it.
Oh, careful. There goes my $100. You see a cross?
Well, don't you worry about that. The main thing's to get you home.
Fraser's gone to London with that kid.
Good. Today, you probably have said something you regret tomorrow.
But I don't like keeping everything bottled up. You know? It's not the way I operate.
I know. That was me 5 years and 2 ulcers ago. Never does any harm to cool it.
You're probably right.
Look, I've been talking to Billy. He says we'll be wasting our time with steam. He wants to use this latest batch of super-fast cement.
I've been reading about that. I didn't know we had any.
They sent out the additives a couple of days ago. Mallory? Yeah, hold on. Cameron
That
for you.
could be the answer, you know.
Yeah, Cameron.
Yeah. Hello. What? Is she okay? I'm on my way. Julie's had an accident.
Just put me in the chair. No, the big chair, please. Thank you. Thank you, darling.
At least there you're out of trouble.
Do you think so? Looks like it's staring me right in the face.
It's no more than you deserve. That was a pretty idiotic thing that you did.
Frank, anyone can fall off a horse.
Right over a 300-foot cliff.
That isn't where I fell off.
That's where they found your shoe.
Look, it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. The horse freaked because two gulls swooped too close. She shied, and the next thing I knew, I was hanging on for dear life.
Listen, did you ever think maybe the horse doesn't like heights? What were you doing that close to the edge in the first place?
Trying to improve my adrenaline count, wasn't I? You thick idiot. What do you think I was trying to do right now?
Okay, all right. Okay. It's just when I'm out on that rig and I got a phone call like that, I can't begin to tell you what went through my mind.
I'm sorry, baby. I'm so sorry.
What?
I'm sorry, darling. Really. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's this job. This job's just giving us a rough time.
I think maybe we're doing it to ourselves.
Maybe.
Look, this isn't going to be an easy one to work out. So no instant decisions, huh?
You sound like Mullery.
Well, thank you.
My word, doubly honoured.
You know Mr. Fraser, of course.
Oh, yes. Yes, we're old sparring partners. You both know Sir Charles?
Charles.
Rupert. Now, Mr. Fraser, I think you're the only one who hasn't met Sir Norman. Gentlemen, I somehow felt the time had come for a free exchange of ideas regarding our joint futures. Oh, do please all sit down.
I think I prefer to remain mobile.
Oh, as you wish.
Yeah, this meeting was not of my seeking.
I didn't imagine it was, Charles. Not your style.
Gentlemen, I realize that you're extremely busy men, and I assure you I don't intend to waste your valuable time.
Ah, splendid. Well, fire away.
Sir Norman, would you care to...
Certainly. I'm sure you'll all be happy to forego the usual preamble, and therefore I'll come to the point straight away. As you all know, this country is still in the throes of an economic crisis. Overseas confidence has been lost, and it will take either some time or alternatively some meaningful event to restore that confidence. For various reasons, none of which I intend to go into now, the government would like that event to take place soon.
You'd like us to discover oil in Hyde Park.
I'm serious, Mr. Atkins. The future is such that the discovery of one field would not be sufficient to allay the fears of our foreign friends. A pre-knowledge is not always so comforting as some think.
More belt tightening?
No, not necessarily. Not if we marshal our forces properly. As I said, the discovery of one single field would not be enough. But you both have proven fields. Now, if they could both come on flow together...
You'd like President to share our pipeline?
Precisely. Now think of the impact, gentlemen. Between you, you'd be supplying what? 15% of this country's whole oil needs. Now that would be good news indeed.
Were you aware of this proposition, Charles?
A hint, no more.
You see, Atkins, your pipeline to your new field, the southern field, is almost complete. President, by linking with it, would only have to lay pipes of 40 miles instead of 120. Vast saving of time.
Not to mention money.
Oh, I'm sure you can both come to some equitable arrangement on that score. What are your thoughts, Mr. Fraser, as a practical man?
Well, you can't simply push two types of oil down one pipeline. They've got to be compatible.
They are.
Oh, my. You have been doing your homework.
A little light reading at bedtime.
Mr. Wayman, may I ask whether we have any option in this matter, or is this discussion purely academic?
Well, of course, the government would prefer you all to cooperate voluntarily. However, we do have certain powers.
In other words, it's to be a shotgun wedding.
I'm sure you'll both be very happy.
Well, it would appear that the matter's been taken out of our hands, Rupert.
We still have to discuss costs, Charles.
Yes, but in private.
There is one other matter, gentlemen.
Yes?
I presume that you will be supplying your pipe-laying barge from Muirport Harbour, Sir Charles, and your production platform.
Oh, yeah.
Well, as you know, Mr. Wayman, Muirport Harbour is already very overcrowded. A new quay would make the job of the supply ships very much easier.
Oh, but I'm quite sure.
Good idea.
Indeed, the government is our partner in the North Sea, as you constantly point out.
Yes, but a new quay? It would cost all of £1 million.
Oh, nearer two at today's prices.
And you do have a fund for the purpose, don't you?
Well, you must admit it's an awful lot of money.
Why not look on it as a wedding present?
Oh, hi, Frank. Jim not back yet?
No, I've got to call into him. I went to see him.
Oh.
I've also got to call into the rig. Listen, about yesterday. Thanks.
How is Julie?
He's fine.
Good. Well, I'm off for a meal. Flash, eh? See ya.
Not bad.
Night, Frank.
Maybe I should call Julie.
What for? She's probably asleep. Frank said she was fine.
Well, I just feel badly about it. After all, it was my horse.
Well, it wasn't the horse's fault. I mean, if Julie wants to behave like Evel Knievel, she'll have joined a circus.
There's no need for snide remarks.
It was simply a detached observation. I mean, the poor woman's probably bored out of her skull.
Well, so would you be if you were left alone as much as she is.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you one thing, you won't catch me in that situation.
Why don't you wait until you're asked, woman? How's your scampi?
Hi.
What on earth?
Well, if the mountain don't come to Mohammed.
Amanda, you ought to be in school.
Why weren't you at the concert?
Concert? Oh, darling. I'm terribly sorry. I've only just got back from London.
Want a coffee?
Well, Look, I ought to telephone the school, tell them where you are.
Oh, I'm I've done that. I pleaded compassionate grounds. It worked a treat.
Compassion. Now, listen here, young lady.
Does it mean your mistress?
I'd prefer to discuss that some other time.
Oh, hello, darling. Oh, I'm sorry I wasn't here when you got back.
Elaine, this is Amanda.
Oh, of course, it must be. Oh, how lovely. I've been longing to meet you for ages.
Have you?
Here, you look just like your voice.
So do you.
Do I? Well, I'm not sure whether that's a compliment or not. Have you eaten?
I've had a coffee.
Oh, I'll cook you something.
I think I'll just pop over to the office for a bit.
I like that outfit, Elaine.
Do you?
Did you get it in London?
I shan't be long.
I did. But you know, I think that there's a boutique in Edinburgh that sells exactly the same sort of clothes.
Drag it out for size.
You and me have got to have a talk.
Yeah, well, I didn't imagine you'd come here to welcome me home. Oh, but first of all, how's Julie?
Oh, she's fine, thank you. I talked to Cameron. You knew Julie was missing. Why wasn't I told?
May I remind you, Frank, that it was your idea to bring Julie here. Your decision. Julie is your responsibility, not Triumph Oil's.
But you kept the news from me deliberately because you thought that I'd walk off that rig.
Well, from what I heard, you did.
Let me tell you something.
No. Stay in the chair, Frank. It's all yours.
Yeah. And I'm beginning to get a picture of what it's like to sit in this chair. You went behind my back. You countermanded my orders. You didn't come out to the rig and tell me face to face.
Well, those orders needed countermanding. I thought so. Atkins thought so.
Well, who is the drilling superintendent around here? You, me, or some idiot from your boardroom?
Nelson Drilling are under contract to Triumph Oil to get this job done. It is my job to see that it gets done.
You forget. You see, I don't work for you. I work for Nelson Drilling. Whatever happens on that rig, I make the decisions. And we better get it straight.
Yeah. I know your side of the coin, Frank. I was a drilling superintendent myself.
Well, then what happened to you, Jim? Did you forget everything when you got behind this desk?
Well, maybe that's the trouble. I know your problems, but you don't know mine. Maybe it'd be a good thing if you did sit in that chair for a while.
Not my scene. Incidentally, the casing patch is complete.
Already?
Muller and the boys, thank them, not me.
Excuse me. Fraser. Rupert. Do you know what time it is? Tomorrow. Well, yeah. I suppose I could fly up. I'd take the 9 o'clock flight. And, where was it you said we'd...